Hello. Now we have sound. Wait, do we have sound? Yes, we have sound. Sound is live. I'm looking at it. Good morning. No one's here yet. It's that fun moment in the beginning of a live stream where it's just me talking to the screen and I don't see anybody. But I'm sure that momentarily, hopefully, some people will show up. Some people will be here to join us for our Monday morning motivation. We kick things off for the week for our weight loss journey. I love coffee. Coffee's great. Oh, I'm thinking about it. Gotta take my medication. Medication helps make my brain work correctly. Being ADHD is fun and annoying because it's like, I feel like I have to work really hard sometimes just to be like what other people do easy. It's okay. It used to make me mad. It actually used to bother me. I used to be actually bitter about it, but now it's okay. Pros and cons. There's a lot of upsides in my ADHD brain too that I like, but the downsides must be managed, lest the downsides be managing me. So it's kind of dark in here. Let's brighten the lights up. Good morning, everybody. Oh, here, let's bring up the chat window. Whoa, what did I just do? Oh, look at that. That makes that zoom in and out. There we go. Good morning, Joseph. Come on. There we go. Make that a little. Oh, wait. Does that? Yeah, there we go. Good morning, Joseph. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Abby. Good morning, Be Inspired. Welcome to Monday morning. The next week of your journey continues. Not that there's anything magical about Monday, but for many of us, Monday is the magical day where things kick off. All right, let's see. We're going to go into the lights. Let's see. Check it. And, that's better. That's better. How about this one? That one's okay. Check this out. I can make it super blue. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know if that color comes through, but I can change the thing. I can even be like, what? I can make this super fun. It's so cool. I still just get just such a kick out of the lights. Like there's a light over there. Check it out. I got a button here. Off. On. Like I get such a kick at just being able to do this stuff because it's like for so long, this just would not have been possible for me. It would have been way too expensive. Oh, hey, we got a bunch of y'all showing up. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Cooking with Rima. Oh, hi, Cooking with Rima. Good morning. Good morning, Gail. Good morning, Mona. Good morning, Katie. Good morning, Denny. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Bonnie. Good morning, Denny. Wait, I think I got you once already. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Kate. Good morning, Victoria. All right, I think I got everybody. I have someone talking to me pretending to be you. No, wait. Oh, wait, are you getting a spammer online? Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to block their ass. Like, there's nothing I can do. It sucks. It's super, super annoying that this happens on the internet, but people spoof accounts and they block me so I can't see them, so I can't find them to report them. So sometimes they don't block me. So yes, Gail, if that is happening, just delete them. Thank you for telling me, but just for future reference, there's really no use in telling me because there's nothing I can do. I mean, the internet be a dangerous place, yo. We gotta be careful with the internet. I love the warm glow color your light gives off now. Yeah, see, I like the warmth a little bit. The warmth's a little bit nicer. So I have a studio next door, and then this is my office. But I've been finding that sometimes I just want to live stream here, or some meetings I want to do here because I got a big monitor. I got all my stuff, and so I'm starting to use two different stations, which is cool because I'm finding different stations lend themselves to different types of presentation. And y'all, those of you that are in the guild, you're seeing what I'm doing over there. And y'all, over there, it's like I'm a baby. I am just bumbling around, no clue what I'm doing with this new setup I got. But even with that, I love how it's turning out. So I'm already thinking of like, okay, over the next 6 months to a year, this studio is going to be pretty sweet. It's going to be pretty sweet what I'm going to be able to do. I'm very excited. Is it Canada's Thanksgiving? Today? I don't know. What day is Canada's Thanksgiving? Oh, today. Happy Thanksgiving, Canada. Somebody that's Canadian, tell me about Thanksgiving, Canada. Wait, that didn't come out right. Someone from Canada, tell me about Thanksgiving in Canada. Tell me something about it. Get a nice chair. Oh, but I do have a nice chair in there. I've just been trying to figure out how to light it. That's the problem. It's lighting. I don't know much about lighting. I mean, I know it from a photography standpoint, but like video lighting's different. And when you're wanting to move around a set and have it all properly lit, and I'm a one-man band, man, it's I'm working on that. And then when you sit, the camera angle makes a big difference. Like here, hey, you all want a photography lesson? I'm gonna give you a photography lesson you didn't ask for. So check this out. So I'm far away, and then I get close to the camera, like to fill the frame. But you notice how the background doesn't change at all when I get closer to the camera or further away, right? Check this out. This is something, it's called compression. So now what I'm going to do, hold on, I got to lower my chair. Wow, I don't lower my chair very often. I don't know which one does it. Is it this one? Where's my chair lower thing? This shows you how often I lower my chair. Oh, was that the... No, that locks it. What in the world? Wow, I have not lowered or raised my chair in... Oh, there it is. Okay, it's that one. All right, I had to lower it because when I do this, it's good. Now, all right, so watch the background. Now I'm going to grab the lens and I'm going to zoom with the lens. Check this out. You're going to notice the background gets bigger. So you see, now I'm filling the frame, but look right here. See how big that printer is now? Now it's super blurry now because that's what compression does. But it's really interesting. But here's the other interesting thing. Oh, that's not it. Wow. You'd think I'd learn how to operate my chair. But when you don't use it very often, you don't think about it. All right, now check it. So see, when I get close, the printer doesn't change, but watch what happens. I'm going to move back while zooming in. You're going to notice my face changes. My arms don't reach any further. Anyway, welcome to Photography Lesson with Chris. It totally didn't matter for nothing. I just think it's neat and I have fun with it. All right, let's see. Gail, we have turkey. This is for Canadian Thanksgiving. We have turkey and dinner with friends and family and give thanks for the things we have. Oh, that sounds like ours. But ours is celebrating when we colonized and took out the indigenous people. It's kind of a twisted thing the more I think about Thanksgiving in my country. Like, the more and more I think about the history is metal. Gosh. Like, whenever you just start looking at history and look at what people do to each other, like, people are just like the worst sometimes is what they'll do to each other. It's just interesting. Oh, man, I didn't want to move that. Hold on. I got to rearrange. I just accidentally dragged the wrong thing. I thought it was Indigenous People Day in the U.S. Today? Is that what today is? Or you just mean in general? No school today for many towns in Connecticut. Isn't it because today is Columbus Day? I think today's Columbus Day. I think I remember seeing that on my bank when I went there Friday. My debit card wasn't working. It worked on my Apple Pay, but I went to swipe it and it wouldn't work. And I was like, well, this doesn't make sense. So I had to go in and talk to them. Like, it looks fine. Then I went and tried it at the ATM. I'm like, it is not fine. So they fixed it. Lots of death in history. Yeah, history has so much of that. Like, history is brutal. History is brutal. Oh, hey, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, hold on, I'm supposed to click this button. Don't miss future live streams. If you enjoy the live stream, please be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified every time I go live. Or you can be in the Becoming Thin Facebook group where I have it all posted there. And eventually, one day, hopefully I'll do it soon, I have the option where you can join a free front-facing version of the guild where you'll have a direct link to this here. So I've been debating making a free version of the guild. It will not have much, but I've been thinking about it. Then I can just bring everything to one household. I've got this new platform, Circle, that I built the guild on, and I absolutely love it. I love it. Let's see. Celebrated Canadian Thanksgiving yesterday. We're in Vermont, and my dad is Canadian, so we always celebrate. Plan for the meal, and the scale actually went down this morning. Oh, hey, Joseph, look what I'm using. I love it. Joseph made these for me. It was wonderful. Like 3D printed coasters. Even 3D printed the holder right here. Like that looks, and I don't know how well that's showing up on camera, but it's a lot of 3D printed stuff is like rough and rigid. This isn't. This is smooth. And then the other part with this is like multicolor. Like, again, I don't know how well that's going to show up. Oh, wait, here. Let me zoom in a little bit so I can stay a little bit in the light. So I'm hoping the resolution, I got the resolution turned up on the stream today. But you can see, I need a pointy device. Right here, you can kind of see the ridges, but it's super smooth. Oh, wrong way. That's way too close to my face. Anyway, thank you, Joseph. I love these. I've been really, it makes me happy. So, let's see. Where can we order? I don't know. I think it was a special order. I don't have no idea how long it takes to make that. You made something else too. Joseph, I'm outing you and your skills. I hope that's okay. Dang it. Where'd I put it? I'm a little discombobulated since returning back. I haven't set everything back where it ultimately needs to go. Is it here? Yeah, here it is. So we're doing a new type of adventure in the guild called Scavenger Hunts. We just did our first inaugural kind of test beta run in Vegas, and it was super fun. But he made these for all of us too, which did not know was going to happen. And this was really a neat way to sort of commemorate it. 3D printed. So like it's great. Even 3D printed the clip, I believe, too, is what it looks like. Let's see. Come on. Focus. Anyway. You can kind of see it. But again, multicolor 3D printed, and it's really high quality. I've seen a lot of 3D printed stuff. I love this stuff. So anyway, we made this for all of us at WET, and it was super cool. So I'm like, I love it. It's such an amazing community I'm a part of. Like yeah. Is the content on Kajabi gone? No, it is all still there. Everything in Kajabi is still there, but I'm working with the migration team on Circle, and I was going to move it all over manually, and I was doing time studies. I'm like, okay, because I want to clean up a lot of it, because a lot of it I have old Zooms, and I have the high-res files somewhere in the back. I'm like, okay, I'll just replace them as I go. But I'm looking at the times, and only so many hours in the day, and I was thinking of the ROI of that effort versus like, well, I could be doing more live sessions with guild members. So I made the decision to reach out to the migration team with Circle, and I was like, okay, can we migrate over my courses on the back end? And they're like, yes, we can. So I've got a date scheduled with the migration team. I don't know, I have to look at my calendar, but I'm on the calendar with the migration team. I requested a month ago, so it takes like a month to get on the calendar. And then we're going to migrate over my courses. And so a whole bunch is coming over. And then the plan is by the end of the year, Kajabi will be shut down and I'll be full circle. But yes, that is there. All of you newish people that just joined the guild, you don't have access to it yet. But if you find that you're running out of content, I can grant you access. But you're going to have to request it. So let's see. Oh, hey, by the way, let's take a moment. I would love to celebrate people who are winners. Wait, that was very anticlimactic. Why did that not work the way it was supposed to? Oh. Let's try that one more time. I want to celebrate people that are winners. Got it that time. So, hey, tell me about your victories. Tell me about how you kicked ass in the guild this week. Or not in the guild, in your weight loss journey this week. Let's bring up the chat window for this. Where's the chat window? Oh, do I gotta bring it here? There it is. That is not the chat window. That is not the chat window. Where's the chat window? That's the chat window. And that is a very large, very weird proportioned chat window. Okay, let's fix this. Border. Sure. Border width. No, that's not the problem. What's the problem? Needs to be automatic. What's automatic do? Oh, nifty. Nifty. All right, let's see. So I want the chat window to be that ratio. Looks like my system gave me a new feature. That's cool. Okay. Stop, Chris. Stop. You're confusing everybody with this constant zooming. All right. Tell me your wins. Tell me your wins. All right, let's see. Oh, wait. I'm going to put my headphones on. Because we need win music. Win music. Do I have win music? Oh, I don't have win music. Keep bringing the wins in. I'm going to take the chat away. I'm going to let your wins build up. We need win music. How do I do this? How can I do this? I can do it. This way. I know how to do it. I can do this. I can do this. I can fix it. Story blocks. That's what it was like. My brain just went, what are you doing here, man? You're like over here in the browser doing something. You're on a live stream. What you doing? I'm forgetting what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Wind music. All right, let's see. Wow, that is really loud in my ears. Let's turn that down a little bit. That is going to blow out my eardrums. Levels. Okay, sound levels are good. We need celebration music. Let's see. Do I have some celebration music here already? Let's see. Yeah. Gail, you did. Oh, well, let's answer this question. What is a win? A win is anything you did that took you one step closer to your goal. Does not matter. If you did anything that took you closer to your goal, that's a win. Sometimes people think scale victories. I went down 2 pounds. That certainly is a win. But actions count as wins. So let's go ahead and dive into the win celebration. All right, let's bring them up. I got to find where the first wins came in. Oh, y'all are saying this. I have no idea what that's about because I've not changed nothing. Oh, I think I know what happened. I'll fix that later. All right, talk to y'all later. So back to this. Mona did the money dash on Saturday with some guildies. That was excellent. Love that. Let's see. What else we got? Hit Wonderland again this morning. That's wonderful. Vanessa did an amazing run this morning and front-loaded my day with steps. Feeling amazing. Love it. Well, Sarah, last night I wanted to snack while watching the Lions lose, but wasn't hungry and no calories left, so I drank water. Nice. Andrea, let's see. Stayed in my calories so far. Love it. Nope, that's not a win. We'll come back to those. Ran my fastest 5K to date. Nice. Excellent. Big deal for me, Karen. Walked 32 miles this week. I think that definitely counts as a big win. 100%. That is excellent. Stuck to my plan. Gained some confidence in myself that I can do what I say I'm gonna do. That is very important to be able to do that. I got back on the treadmill today. Love it. Let's see. Lydia, cool. Oh, that's not a win. That's a thank you. Hit a new low on the scale today and pulled out my winter clothes and discovered I'm mostly a large on top instead of an XL. I love those kinds of moments because they just blow your mind when you're just like, what? I've gotten smaller. Oh, love that. Oh, wait, we ran out of happy music. Let's bring the next happy music in. Oh, that one's got kind of a fun feeling. No, we're not. I'm not feeling that vibe. This is the one. This is the gun. Yep. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. Victoria reached a new decade this morning. Love it. Joseph ran 2 miles. Did a hike trail run on Saturday. Woo! Jennifer, 11,000 steps a day, all day this week. That is the actions of a winner right there. That's what that is. Because that don't happen by mistake, does it? No, not usually. My consultant for my knee replacement discharged me as he was happy that I'm now regularly walking 5,000 steps a day. Love it. Excellent. Oh, Joseph walked 73,000 steps in Vegas last week. I promised you a lot of steps in Vegas, and I'm glad to see that we were able to deliver. Welcome. Good job. I sized down on some new shirts I bought this weekend. Love it. What? Tina McKenzie hit her goal weight and we need to celebrate that. I think we do because that is amazing whenever somebody hits their goal weight. That's fantastic. We'll definitely be talking about that. All right, any more wins? Last chance. Come on. If you got any more, put them in. If not, we're going to wrap up. I like this funky music. It's called Party Song with funky bass. It's totally working. All right. I think it's time. Thank you for sharing your wins in the comments, everybody. Thank you. I enjoyed that. Did the music come through okay? I hope it did. It was coming through good in my ears. I don't think I need the ears anymore. I only need the ears and I got to monitor sound levels. So, today, I wanted to talk about emotional eating. So, if you have not yet picked up this book and read it, you need to. Your best time to have read it was before you got big and got taken over by emotional eating. Second best time to read it is now. I haven't shared this story in a while. Oh, wrong way. Is that where I want it? Yeah, that's where I want it. So, this book, I was at a bookstore in Washington, D.C. several years ago. One I used to work at, actually, as a kid. And, hold on, I'm going to boost that light a little bit. That still seems a little dark to me. A little more. That's better. All right. So I was in DC and I saw this. Whenever I go into a bookstore, I've been doing this for years. I always go to the diet, exercise sections, health sections, anything where I might see stuff about weight loss. And I got to tell you, 95% at least of the books that you will see in a major bookstore with regards to weight management, with diet, with helping you learn how to lose weight and helping you overcome emotional eating are complete and total dog shit. It is just, actually, not only that, a good chunk of the books at a bookstore are contributing to the problem. It's not that they're not helping, they're actually making it worse. But they're doing it in the name of making it better, which is often the case with a lot of parts of society, right? We tend to make things worse while we're trying to make it better. Not unusual. And so I usually don't buy a book. I usually do not. But I saw this. Now, this right here, this picture, I actually have this picture. I'm part of Storyblocks, the same place I was playing my music earlier. I needed a picture for something. It has stock photos, and I believe in, like, everything I use, I pay for, right? I don't like stealing copyrighted material. The only times I will sometimes tweak with that is I'll play some hype music before a session. I feel like that's probably okay. And that's only because I couldn't figure out where to buy the copyright. I spent 6 months trying to figure out how to properly license that. If somebody knows how, tell me, because I can't figure it out. Anyway, other than that, so all my imagery I pay for, or I get it through legal means. And I decided to do that in the early days because I'm like, I'm going to expect to be successful. So let's not do anything that if I get sick, because when you're little and you're a small time person, nobody gives a shit. You can steal whatever you want because nobody cares. Piglets are cute. Hogs get slaughtered. So I'm like, well, I hope to be a hog one day. And well, then I don't want to be on the, radars. So I was like, do everything above board with copyright. So I saw this image and I picked it and I used it for something. It was just a generic image. Right? I mean, I saw it on several stock photo sites. Anyway, so I'm at the bookstore and I'm looking down and on the spines, you're reading all the books. So I do that whole head sideways thing and I read every book. And I see this one, it says 8 Keys to End Emotional Eating. I was like, I have never seen a book like that. I've never seen a title like that. I've been in lots of bookstores for years looking. I'm like, I've never seen it. Only one copy. I've never seen it before. I think it's because the DC Barnes & Noble bookstore in Tyson's Corner, if you know where it is, you'll understand. It's a pretty decent, well-provisioned bookstore. And always has been. And so I picked it up and I looked at it and I was like, well, that's kind of cheap. I'm like, a professional publisher didn't do this. I'm like, this is stock art. Like, this is stock photo. And then I'm like, I'm just looking at it. I'm like, I don't know. And I open it up and I'm like, it seems, but I was like, but for whatever reason, I felt compelled to get it. I'm like, all right. So I grabbed it, bought it, threw it on the stack of books. I usually have a stack of books. I'm like, I'm going to get to them as I get to them. I got a stack. Do I have it in here? Yeah, it's up there. So my books, I just get to them as I do. And this one sat there for a long, long time. I don't remember, maybe a year, half a year? I don't know, a while. And I wanted to work through some stuff. And I'm like, all right, let's pick this up and I read it. And I actually didn't even read it. I just jumped to key number 4, understand the motive. I just thought, you know what? I don't know the motive of emotional eating. And I just started reading it. And then I couldn't put it down. I mean, and then I pulled up my notes and I'm just frantically taking notes. I'm like, this is making so many things make sense. Like, oh my gosh, I see why I was doing this. Like, I'm just like reading it. I'm like, what in the world? I read the one paragraph, the understand the motive. I didn't read another one for a while. I just kept rereading that one because that one just blew my mind. I'm like, I'll get to the others. I'm still absorbing what's in this. And then I just sat down and I just read the book cover to cover in like a couple days. And it's just like, this explains so much. Like, this explains so much. And so I started teaching it to people, the stuff that was in it. I'm like, I got to teach this to people. So I made my Understanding and Overcoming Emotional Eating course, which is my take on some of the concepts in here. Because I'm able to. He is not a lived experience. He was a clinical psychologist who specialized in the treatment of emotional eating, and with behavioral health was a big part of what he does. And so he's since passed away, unfortunately. Couple 2 years ago, I think. Last year. No, it was last year. So, wow, we're actually at almost a year. He passed away. And then other people started talking about, like, Chris, like, this is explaining so much. This is helping me understand things. And the interesting thing is, when you begin to understand something, it becomes easier to work through it. And so, but we have to remember, I know I do weight loss coaching. I know I have the Guild. I know I have the Becoming Thin. I know I look like a thin person. And for many of you, you've only ever seen me as a thin person. Like, this is the only way you ever know me. But we have to remember, like, this is where I started. Like, this is at the very beginning of my journey right here. This is what I look like before my journey started. Now get those at least semi-symmetrical. So, like, this is me right after I started my journey. This is me, sometime the year before. This was normal. Like, this is just how I looked. This was, if I closed my eyes and thought, what does Chris Terrell look like? That's what I pictured. Because I was just a big guy. I'd been a big guy. It's all I'd ever known was being a big guy. I didn't know any other way. So for many of you, you don't know that. Like, it's easy to forget it and just see me this way. But it's, hi, my name's Chris Terrell, and I'm an emotional eater in recovery. I'm a recovering emotional eater. And I wish I could tell you that once I got thin, once I learned all about food, once I learned about movement, once I fell in love with exercise, once I understood why I emotionally ate, I wish I could tell you that meant the urge and desire to emotionally eat goes away. It didn't. I hate to use sober. That's not the right word, but I'm going to use it just for the sake of conversation today. But, I've been free from the grips of it for, I don't know. I don't actually know, because I definitely emotionally ate while I was still losing weight. And I definitely still emotionally ate my first year of maintenance. It was less. And it just kept getting less and less and less and less and less and less. So somewhere after my first year, I never had a full-blown fuck it binge where I just said fuck it and just did whatever I wanted. Anyway, it's been years, but the urges, the voices to, like, the food will make you feel better, they're still there. They're just lying in wait, waiting for something to awaken them. And then the voices come back and they just start talking. They start telling you all these things you could be doing that would make you feel better, to distract you from the whatever you want to be distracted from. Doesn't really matter, I guess. It's just whenever the voices want to distract you. And if I didn't know what was in this, and if I didn't know the other things I've learned that I teach that's not in this, because this isn't everything, right? You're not going to read this and know everything. There's more to learn. But this is going to give you such a huge leap. It would be like saying reading the Alcoholics Anonymous Bible is going to give you everything you need to be sober and free from alcohol. And no, there's more to it. There's a lot that has to be learned just by doing. And So, hey, I've seen many of you have read this book. If you don't mind, I know many of you just did it, but if you could, in the chat, tell me if you've read this book and if you would recommend it to others. Again, I know a few of you have already did that. I'm going to find the chat window. Where did I put the dang chat window? Did I delete it by mistake? Where's the chat window? I think I deleted it by mistake. That's funny. All right, hold on. I got to bring the chat window back. No, that's not the right button. Screen share. There we go. So if you've read the book, put this over here. Let me know in the chat, just so people can those that haven't read it can understand. Like, this is something that, like, if you have struggled with your weight your entire adult life, I don't make recommendations of books you should read very, very lightly, that I think everybody should read, because I really don't think that's the case. I don't think every book is good for everyone. There's really only 2 books that I recommend everybody read. Well, there's more, but these are the 2 that are like my right away. And they're not books you read once. These are books you study. You absorb the knowledge into your mind. And it's these 2 books, Psycho-Cybernetics and The 8 Keys to End Emotional Eating. You need to know what is in these books. It needs to alter your thinking. You need to think naturally the thoughts that these books talk about. And so this is my copy. It lives here. It lives with me when I travel. It goes with me. Let's see if I can show you this. I want you to see the pages. Let's see. I got to block my face so it doesn't try to focus on my face. Wow, this is surprisingly difficult. Can you see that? So I dogged all the corners of the pages. And I want to... This scroll wheel is driving me bonkers. I keep accidentally zooming. I got to turn that feature off. I do not like that feature. I keep accidentally doing it. But I want to show you so it's very marked up, very highlighted, lots of underlines. Because I regularly go through this thing. I use the index a lot. I even now will write in certain things that I need a quick reference, because I'm like, oh, I got to think of the right way to think of this. And I'll put it in here. And then in my journal, one of my journals, is it this? It's one of these 2. One of these 2 is the one when I was really studying it. Although I really need to rip this out or retype it and put it in the front of the book. Is it this one? Actually, now that I'm thinking of this, I totally need to do this. I need to take out this journal page and put it in the front of the book, or I need to duplicate it. Let's see. Well, all right. Yep. Nope. This just answers that. Yep. I got to do that because I can't find it easily. That was too hard to find. It's in one of my journals, but where I was doing research, I was like this, and I would write a topic, and I wrote a bunch of topics on a page, and anytime I read something that came along with it, I added the page number. So I could be like, okay, what are all the page numbers that talk about this? That's when I was deeply studying it. So it's just, this book is really, it's just really important. Hold on. I'm having chair troubles today. So if you're struggling with emotional eating, get this and read it. There is an audiobook. I think the audiobook is great, but I really recommend getting the book too. And I will regularly just pick it up and just like flip to a random section and then just read. And then I'll flip to another section and just read. And then I'll flip to another section and just read. I do that all the time. I have to make sure sometimes to go near the ends and go near the front, because I discovered I was reading the middle sections a lot. But I thought maybe we could go through some of my favorite sections of the book and do a little bit of the random flipping, if that's okay. Is that okay? I mean, you can't stop me because it's my live stream, so I'm just gonna do it anyway. So, but we'll throw the comments up. You know, I'll keep an eye out on those. And I thought we could go through some of my favorite stuff. So let's do this. So I have one tab right here, only one. See that little red tab? I've only got one. I'm very stingy with my tabs where I put them because it has to be something like Psycho-Cybernetics has only a few tabs that stick out, and they're the cheapies even. I'm very stingy with those. I dog the ears of them. But it's because I learned about something in this book, in this tab takes me about a little few pages where it's just like, wow, these handful of pages right here really explain a lot. So let's go to this. For anybody that happens to have a copy, I'm on page 95. Actually, we're going to start on page 93 because this is one of the earliest pages that just went and just blew my mind and helped me really bring a lot of things into understanding. It's called Don't Think About Reverse Psychology. Marketers create slogans that appeal to our id, the part of us that wants to reject expectations and defy the rules. Ads will often describe their products as sinfully delicious, a guilty pleasure, or a decadent indulgence. An ad for a hotel in Las Vegas has the tagline, just the right amount of wrong. There's even a menu item at a St. Louis custard stand called the Cardinal Sin Sundae. Advertising baits illustrates a basic feature of human nature. We're drawn to what we're told we can't or feel we shouldn't have. As Police Chief Wiggum of The Simpsons asked his son, "What is your fascination with my forbidden closet of mystery?" And when I read that for the first time, I still remember it because this was such a clarity. I was like, I am drawn. Me, Chris Terrell, am drawn to something that I'm told I can't have. And it's weird. Just saying, hey, this is here, but you're not allowed to know it, makes me want to know it. It triggers a curiosity bug in me. Does that do that to you? If it does, tell me in the chat. If you feel that curiosity buzz that comes up when you find something that you can't have. And I'm thinking of weight loss. I'm like, wait, with food, I would do this with food. Is me saying I can't have a food, does that actually make me want it more just because I said I couldn't have it? I was thinking that. So advertisers understand the effect that the opportunity to be bad, especially when the risk is low, has on consumers. And then right there, ding, light bulb moment. It's not that I said I couldn't have the food. That alone might get me to do it. It's that it would be bad to do it. Saying I can't have it and crossing the line would be wrong makes me want to do it more, which makes me feel shame for wanting to do something that I think is bad. What? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? That doesn't make sense at all. But I'm reading this, I'm like, but that is what I do. And I've learned now, by the way, when I read this, I was not really into marketing. For the last 3 years, by nature of what I do for work, I have learned a ton about marketing. Marketers know all this shit. They're manipulating you 6 ways to Sunday to get you to buy something, to get you to do something. And they use, sometimes, you can't have it. Advertisers understand the effect that the opportunity to be bad, especially when the risk is low. Remember that line. We're going to come back to it. The momentary sense of liberation that comes from breaking free of control allows us to regain a sense of autonomy over how we conduct our lives. I refer to this as the transgressive motive because it drives us to engage in behavior that feels subversive. We do it in spite of the possible negative consequences or private guilt that may occur later because the momentary feeling of freedom that it offers outweighs the cost. I have that underlined. The momentary feeling of freedom that it offers outweighs the cost. And I'm just reading, I'm like, that's exactly what I would do. And I'm realizing at the time I was reading this, you have to understand, I did not realize I had transfer addictioned many things. I had just swapped out food and TV show, movies, and video games for other things. There's a whole story for why I was looking into this. We'll get into that some other time. One reason this happens, this paragraph, This paragraph right here. This is it. This one just like introduced a concept and a word and a phrase, a term to me that completely altered how I see my own behaviors. And if you're a kind of person that likes to be aware, if you're the kind of person that likes to align yourself with truth, and if you're the kind of person that does not like to be ruled by your emotional impulses, understanding this is the doorway to actually being in control of yourself. Because if you don't know what this is talking about, if you don't know this is happening, you won't be looking for it. Because when it happens to you, it feels natural. It feels right. Because if you let your emotions dictate what is true, you're going to fuck up your life. Because emotions don't know truth. Emotions just know the story means this, and they react to the story. Emotions don't care about reality. They care about the story, the meaning, what's going to happen. So, this is big. One reason this happens is that when you're told to do something, it feels like a threat to your freedom. And you want to do the opposite to hold on to your ability to choose. This is known as psychological reactance. It describes a tendency of people to react against any outside control over their behavior. This perceived control is not limited to heavy-handed pressure. It can even be a simple suggestion that someone makes. The reaction is not a response to the merits of what the other person is suggesting. It's an instinctive reaction to any unsolicited influence that feels like a limitation on one's freedom. Every human has a certain need for autonomy and freedom. And every human has a different level of need for autonomy and freedom in different parts of their life. You will find in some parts of your life, you don't mind giving up some freedom. Like driving in traffic. Most of us don't mind giving up some freedom because there's traffic lights. It's okay. But many of us do care about freedom with, let's say, of like, what do I eat? So I need to read this again, but we're going to break it down. When you're told to do something, it feels like a threat to your freedom, and you want to do the opposite to hold on to your ability to choose. Many of us have noticed this in teenagers where they're beginning to understand freedom, and they will say no to something just to say no. Just because you told them to do it, they're going to say no. Many of you know people in your life that are this way. They're so sensitive to control that if you tell them to do something, even if it is in their own best interest, even if they have even actually would want to do it, just because you said to do it, they will not. That is a term called psychological reactance. But this next line down here was really, really important. The reaction is not a response to the merits of what the other person is suggesting. That means the psychological reactance gets triggered not due to what you're being told, just it is simply because you're being told to do something. You can't have this food because it'll make you gain weight and it'll be off your plan. Now you want it more because some source of authority said you can't have it. Just because a source of authority said you can't have it, you now psychologically instantly want it more. Now, when I first learned about this, and I'm thinking about this concept of merits, I decided, because I like to be present and I like to observe my own mind as I'm living in real time, not retroactive, real time. And I noticed one time I was driving and it was suggested to take an exit. My hand was already reaching towards the blinker. I just hadn't hit it yet. And I felt myself not, like I pulled my finger back from the blinker, waited a few seconds, and then flipped it on. And I was sitting there and I've read this concept and I was like, I just did it right there. I just did it with a fucking blinker. I was going to turn it on anyway. The person doesn't know. I was literally reaching for the blinker with my fingers. But you can't see it because it's on the other side of the steering wheel. And I brought them back just so I was in control. I have to be in control. And I watched myself do this in real time. Because again, I like to be present and watch my thoughts in real time. And I was like, wow. I was watching myself do it and I still did it. I didn't put the connection there of psychological reactance, but I started like, okay, what did that feel like? Psychological reactance. Like, can I detect it? And so I started noticing whenever people would tell me to do something, there's this feeling that it wells up within my chest. I can feel it. It's like a, wow, this is like trying to describe what wind feels like. Hold on. Let me get in my head. I got to imagine it. It's like it's on the front of my chest. It's not in the back. It's not in deep. It's on the front, like almost like the muscles. It's not the muscles though. It's like it's like a tightening, a tension. It's subtle. It's gentle. But if I really care, it gets like, wow, I've never tried to describe this before. This is the first time I've ever tried to do it. This is fun. Anyway, I've noticed that feeling. It's that feeling of me resisting being told to do something, but I wanted to do it anyway. And it creates a conflict because I want to do it. But if I do it, I feel like I'm not doing it because I wanted to do it. I feel like I'm doing it because the person told me to do it. And that means I'm not in control and I don't get the credit. And I've realized that is my ego. Psychological reactance is born out of my ego. But you see, if you're not paying attention, you won't notice it in real time. And noticing it retroactively does you no fucking good because you've already acted. Man, my coffee's getting cold. All right, continuing on here. Psychological reactance. Pay attention to it today. This week, see if you notice it. All right, continuing on. Here's an example from my own recent experience. Oh, no, we'll skip ahead. All right, yeah, now we're going to hop over to page 96. The archetypal tale of defiance and transgression is also the origin of the expression forbidden fruit. It is perhaps the most appropriate example to represent the motive for emotional eating. In the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve disobeyed the warning against eating the fruit of the tree of knowledge, and as punishment they were banished from paradise. The moral that's usually drawn from this is that it's important to obey authority and control your impulse to give in to temptation. However, as described in Genesis, the Garden of Eden was full of every tree that was pleasant to the sight of good for food. By the way, some of y'all that aren't Christians, if you're like tuning out because this is using Bible verses, hi, welcome to Psychological Reactance. You need to just chill the fuck out, okay? So back to what I'm saying. However, as described in Genesis, the Garden of Eden was full of every tree that was pleasant to the sight and good for food. Not only did the fruits of all the trees look equally tempting, but Adam was actually told to enjoy them all. Well, all except that one. In fact, the only thing Adam and Eve knew about the fruit of the tree of good and evil was that they would die if they ate from it. Now, given all their options of tree fruits that were not only delicious but also safe to eat, how tempting could the fruit of that one forbidden tree have been? Hold on, I wrote notes here on the side. I'm going to see if I want to read these yet. No, not yet. In his book, Escape from Freedom, psychologist Erich Fromm points out how we judge the disobedience of Adam and Eve depends on one's perspective. From the standpoint of the church, which represents authority, it is essentially sin. From the standpoint of man, however, this is the beginning of human freedom. Fromm interprets the message of the Eden story in a way that's consistent with the concept of reactance. It is that intrinsic part of human nature is to resist limits placed on our autonomy. Let me read that again. That is an intrinsic part of human nature. That an intrinsic part of human nature is to... All right, hold on. I'm reading that sentence terribly. Let me try that one more time. An intrinsic part of human nature is to resist limits placed on our autonomy. An intrinsic part of human nature is to resist limits placed on our autonomy. Our natural tendency is to violate and go against something, that we perceive to be a limit on our autonomy. It doesn't have to actually be one. It just needs to be perceived as one. I wrote here on my side little note here in the margin. perceptions or perspective determines perception, and perception is reality to the perceiver. So if the perceiver believes what they're being told is a limitation on their freedom, they are going to react as if it were a limitation on their freedom. And when a person feels as if their freedom has been limited, regardless if it is or not, if they just feel that way, they are going to push back. It is a natural human tendency, but they may not necessarily push back on the actual source of control. What I've now learned is what that feeling is when you feel a threat to your autonomy, what you then are feeling as a compensatory emotion is defiance. I want to defy this authority. But what do you do if it's an authority you do not believe you can defy? Let's say, for example, this is again why this section just unlocked things for me. Let's say at your job, you feel like a cog in a wheel. You feel completely powerless and out of control to everything that's happening. You feel like you can't get out of it. It's the best job you can do. And there's all these problems at work that you're powerless to change. And yet you keep having to clean up the messes, but you can't stop the messes from occurring. But you know how to stop the messes from occurring, but you can't. And so you're getting stressed. You're getting frustrated. You go to your boss. You talk about it. And nobody's doing anything. And you are just feeling this defiant energy. I need to push back. But you can't, because if you flip out, you'll lose your job. And you need this job because this job, you're living paycheck to paycheck because you don't have an emergency fund outside of maybe a month or two. So you can't just walk because you don't got that fuck you money. And so now you have to keep going to this job that you hate because you got to keep paying the mortgage. You got to keep sending the kids to get them all they need because kids get expensive. You got to take care of your own hobbies because you got expensive hobbies. You got to take care of your family's things. You want to go on a vacation and you'd like to save for retirement. And so you feel like you can't leave. And yet you're feeling all this threat to your freedom and you're just totally out of control. And you're like, I just want to defy it so bad, but you can't. But you can't. Because if you do, you'll lose your job and you don't want to face all the consequences. There are very real, actual consequences if you defy. So what do? You have this defiant energy that needs to be expressed. So what does defiant energy want to do? It wants to defy. So if I can't defy all these problems at work, that trusty little diet that people tell me I have to do, can't eat this, can't eat that. Oh, if you do this, you're going to get fat, Chris. You got to do all this stuff or you can't do this. Otherwise, you're bad. You know what? Fuck you, the rules. And then you go after your diet. Because when I violate this and I gorge myself in private, nobody knows. There's no social repercussions. And not only that, I made it socially acceptable by making sure I'm friends with other emotional leaders. You know, we call them my eating buddies. Just like alcoholics don't want to feel bad when they're soothing all their problems with alcohol, they get their drinking buddies. Hey, y'all, you want to go out to happy hour on a Tuesday? And you're like, you get plastered like every day. But they don't want to go with me because I'm going to make them feel bad because I'm going to get one drink maybe and then leave. And they're going to want to keep drinking. I'm like, nah, man, I got to go. You know, I'm not going to have 4 drinks. So what are they going to do? They're going to find other people that drink so that they don't feel bad, so that they can feel guilt-free for drinking. And what do we do with food? We make it where it's okay. Oh, this is so good. Oh, I shouldn't have any more. This is so bad. Oh, this is too much ice cream. Oh, don't tempt me. 2 sandwiches for the price of 1. Oh, well, I couldn't. I mean, it's a good deal. You know, we have all these little things that I'd say to myself. What about you? What about you? And when I'm reading this page, it's like so much is clicking in my mind. So much. So much. If you want to lose weight and believe that dieting demands discipline and control, it suggests that you feel there's some authority who is questioning your choices and dictating what to do. That's why I don't tell you exactly what to do. People come to the guild, they come to my programs, Chris, where's my plan? I'm like, you don't understand. If I give you a plan, I have just given you the perfect thing to defy. No plan. What do you mean no plan? No plan. No, that doesn't work, Chris. I need a plan. No, you don't. Yes, I do, Chris. Okay, fine. I've done this and I've helped thousands of other people do it. You've not done it and you've helped nobody do it. Sure, go with your idea. Sure, you don't need a plan. Yes, I do, Chris. No, you've been chasing plans for 20 years. How's that worked out for you? Because the plan is literally, it's so tasty to violate for an emotional leader. It is so tasty. So tasty for an emotional leader. That's why I don't give them to you. You have to learn how to lose weight and never say no. Never say unforbidden. You can't have it. Anytime you say, I cannot do this, people come in the guild and I love it when a person's like, Chris, I've had a 2-year tracking streak. I'm like, cool, break it today. What? Break it. No, break it. No, break it. Like, no. You don't understand. You're setting your foot. I can't have carbs. What do you mean you can't have carbs? Why? Oh, it's just right to not have carbs. Help me understand. Why? No, you're just making an arbitrary rule. And I know what you're doing. It's in case of emergency, break glass. You got the perfect binge waiting for you when life just gets too stressful. Continue on. It may be another person, like a healthcare, or when I make sure I'm back up. If you want to lose weight and believe that eating demands discipline and control, it suggests that you feel there is some authority who is questioning your choices and dictating what to do. It may be another person, like a healthcare provider, family member, or fitness coach. More often, though, the authoritarian voice comes from within you, your superego, if you prefer. Our natural response is to defy this kind of control. And in the process, we may even go against our own clear preferences. If it seems strange to think of pressure that you put on yourself as external control, remember that perception is reality. And the need to diet can feel imposed. No one denies themselves the freedom to eat what they want because they enjoy feeling deprived or hungry. People diet only when they feel they ought to do so. When you're offered dessert and you say, I can't, I'm on a diet, your words reflect the sense that the source of control isn't you. You probably do want it, and you can choose to have it if you feel that it's okay to do so, but the only reason you can't is because you feel that you're not allowed to eat dessert, not because you don't want to. That section right there, that's what I just read right here. Starred, underlined, that's the one that got the tab. That is why diets don't fucking work. That's why plans don't work. That's why you got to change your lifestyle, habits, routines, environment, community, and belief systems, because it gets around all this. But it's harder, but it actually works and it actually sticks. You go diet, if you're an emotional eater, a diet is the worst thing you can go on, but you can still lose weight while working on your emotional eating. You can. But you have to do it in a different way. That's why when people come to the Guild and they get so confused sometimes because they're like, none of this looks like what I'm used to. I'm like, yeah, it shouldn't look like what you're used to. If it looks like what you're used to, you're going to get the results that you're used to. Do you want the results that you're used to, or would you like to become thin and stay thin forever? Or would you like to take a round trip ticket to Thinville, visit it, get your hopes up, then lose control, find yourself all the way back where you were and feel all that guilt and shame that comes with it? Would you like to do that? I don't like doing that. I did that for 20-something years. I hated it. Stupid roller coaster. Did not like that train. I'm going to read this again. People diet only when they feel they ought to do so, which is why one of my biggest rules I tell people is never invoke the weight loss card. When you have to say no to something, never, ever, ever to yourself or to anybody else invoke the weight loss card. Find some reason to say no that has nothing to do with weight loss. Yes, in the back of your mind, you can be aware that it's connected to weight loss, but don't talk about it. You only talk about it with your OSPs that understand the context in which you're doing this. OSPs are not people that like, oh, you're fat too, and we both want to diet all the time? Yeah, I'm so proud of you. No, that's not an OSP. An OSP is somebody that supports you and supports the way you're doing it. That's an OSP. If they're trying to get you to do it their way, they're not an OSP. An OSP says, no, you're in control. You're in power. I'm here to support you. I'm here to encourage you. That's what an OSP does. An OSP doesn't say, well, I think you're wrong. You should do it my way. My way is better. I know what's right for you. No. And I know it's a little ironic, me as the coach, because I'm often giving advice saying you should do this, but understand, I don't want anybody to take my blind word for anything. Nothing. I want you to go test it. You go take what I'm talking about and just go test it in your own life. And you decide what you want to do. Don't do something because I said so. Go try it because I said so, and then make your own decision. That's what you should do. I don't have all the answers because I don't know your life. I don't know what you're good at. I don't know what you're bad at. I don't know. The only times I get to the place where I start giving people advice, I'm actually going to launch it this January. I'm finally ready. I've been doing it behind the scenes, but I'm going to launch my new one-on-one program. Now, I'm just going to tell you about it. First off, right away, I just want to say 99.9% of you will not be able to afford this. So I just want you to know. I do coaching on a group fashion is how I like to do it, and I do small group stuff because it works. But I do like one-on-one work, and I'm making my plan. It's called the Guaranteed Success Plan. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've been testing the Guaranteed Success Plan and trialing it for 2 years to figure it out. It's the Guaranteed Success Plan. As in, when you work with me, I guarantee success. You will be successful. You will become thin. It might take 3 to 4 years, but it will happen. I guarantee it. But this is not going to be some sit-down weekly coach. It's insanely expensive, and I'm going to get all up in your life because you are going to let me see everything. I'm going to talk to your spouse. I'm going to talk to your family. I'm going to come visit your home. I'm going to come talk to you about your job. We're going to do a deep intensive for just 6 months, me getting to know you. Yes, we'll start working on stuff as we go, but I'm giving you little things to see how you do because I'm trying to build a profile of you to identify where we need to work, where your strengths and where your weaknesses are. I can only do 1 or 2 of those at a time because of how intensive it is. That's the level of intensity I have to go to before I would even remotely feel comfortable saying, I know what you should do. And even then, there's still going to be a big heavy of like, this is what I think you should do. You make the decision. And I will work with you. Whatever decision you make, we'll pivot and we'll go that way together. And I may say, you will not do this. It's just anybody that says they know exactly what to do for you and they're not all up in your life in business and properly educated in that area, no. You'll notice you might do this with a financial planner, right? Like some of the best ones get all up in your financial picture. Some of the financial management literally manage every dollar for you, right? And that's what I'm going to do, but I'm not. But my plan relies on you managing it. I have to teach you to manage yourself because I don't want to work with you forever. I want to get you thin and then let you go and then go find the next person. I'm only going to take on one in January. One. The Guaranteed Success Plan. It's called the Starfish Program. I'll tell people about it later. Dang it, my coffee's cold. No, I'm not going to drink it. So, look at the time. Wow, this is fun. Thanks for coming here with me. Hey, was this interesting? Did y'all like what we were talking about here with the emotional eating? You know, I've been staying on this for a little bit right now. If you have, let me know in the chat. We kind of read this. Did you like it? What do you think of this format where we kind of read a section and just kind of talk about it? You know, was this something you found valuable or helpful? If so, again, let me know in the chat right now. Because if so, we can do more of this. I'm going to do some more live streams too. I'm going to do some evening ones and, because emotional eating is just such a big thing and it rules my life. And I find when I'm struggling with emotional eating, that's the best time for me to learn about emotional eating is when I'm struggling on my own, and learning about it. So, all right, here we go. The chats are coming in. Okay. So yeah, y'all are finding this, useful and helpful. Okay, great. So you see, Gail, this is the best chat I've ever been into. You make so much sense. You don't preach, you just explain it. I love it. I'll see you next Monday. I'm going to go buy these books. Yes, Gail, come back next Monday. I'm here every Monday unless I'm traveling or something, at this time. So, I hope you really got something out of this. And again, I think I might do a sale on my emotional eating course just as a standalone for anybody that might want to try it. My emotional eating course really goes into depth and thoroughly explains things. Because my goal is I really believe awareness is the first step. And if we can create the conscious awareness to what's happening, you will often know what to do. And I truly believe that you're the hero you've been waiting for your whole life. No one else. You. All the pain that you go through in your life. I know sometimes life can be really, really, really difficult. And I know that sometimes the call to turn to the food can be so great and so loud that it's all you can hear. But I want to remind you that call to turn to the food is not actually a call to eat. It might seem like it is, and you might have done it so much that you believe that it is. But that call that you're hearing, go eat the food, it's a signal. It's a smoke detector. Something's wrong. Something needs my attention and care. What is it? Is it my emotions? Is it my heart? Is it a problem in life? Something is wrong and I need to deal with it. That's what that feeling is telling you. But when you turn to the food, what you're choosing is relief. You're choosing to escape it, to not work on it. And it just hits the reset switch for it to come back the next day. But if you can find the courage to not turn to the food and instead get curious, why do I feel this way? What is my mind telling me? I'm telling you, your entire world can change. It can be a really transformative thing. Thanks for being here. Can't wait to see you next week. Talk soon. Bye.